this is the first camp I can enjoy myself and be back. My headspace that I'm in now is way better than what I was before, and that's
there about the size and all of this stuff, but people forget that Tank's a top 10 pound for pound fighter, and he's got power in both hands. And skill-wise and technique-wise, he's been doing this for so long.
You know, and got skills, high IQ fighter. Regardless of the weight, I've personally seen Tank, spar heavy.
Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis is a clash no one anticipated. Two stars from entirely different worlds are stepping into the same ring, both determined to prove they belong among the elite. And this time, the hype couldn't be more real.
It's night and day, right? You have to understand, I went from doing YouTube and Disney Channel to 5 years, once to twice a day, 6 to 7 days a week, training, recovery, taking it more serious than ever. I'm just a different specimen. My body is filled out. I'm going into my athletic prime and going into that, and my body filling out. I just feel amazing. It feels super.
Jake Paul has been outspoken about the intense training he's putting himself through for the Gervonta Davis fight. He insists he's bringing elite talent into his camp and proudly mentions that he's dropped opponents during sparring. Jake even revealed that Shakur will be joining him this week to help him prepare for the Tank showdown. In a rare moment of honesty, Jake admits that Tank is dangerous. Many critics downplay Tank because of his smaller size, claiming he's too short to compete with someone like Jake, but Jake completely disagrees. He openly acknowledges that Tank's power is real in both hands and that he hits like a freight train despite his height. Jake admitting he's nervous to step into the ring is a bold statement. It reflects the respect he has for Tank's knockout power and skill. That fear proves this fight is far from the joke people assume it to be.
Going into a fight that I've actually ever been, because I know how good these people are that I'm sparring, and being able to see how good they are and knowing how good Tank is, it's actually going to be my toughest test to date.
Yeah, I think, Jake, you could make the argument, right? Pound for pound wise, this guy's the most ferocious dude in the whole sport, couldn't you?
For sure. I think he has probably one of the highest knockout percentages.
Yeah, 90-something%, right?
Exactly. And just his speed, his elusiveness, his ring IQ, his conditioning. He's gone 12 rounds so many different times, something that I've never even done. So he's going to be sharp all the way through. I mean, the list goes on. And so just actually being vulnerable for a second, it's like, this is crazy. This is scary. It's kind of keeping me up at night.
Jake, how do you prepare for, like you said, a guy who is shorter than you? How do you find a sparring opponent to replicate something that obviously, there's nobody else out there that's Tank Davis? How do you prepare for a guy that's different stature-wise?
Yeah, no, we have world champions. Raymond Ford in the 130-pound weight class. We got Montana Lovin. Shakur Stevenson is coming in this week. So Just sparring against guys on their level and people who have, been doing this their whole entire lives, but we're really focusing on speed, and not as much on power. I'm not doing as much like weightlifting and all of that stuff. I'm actually trying to lose some muscle so that.
Many fans don't know the full truth behind Tank's journey. From the very beginning of his career, he was sparring with heavyweights, and not just any heavyweights, but skilled ones who knew how to control the ring. Showbiz, the boxing analyst, revealed that Tank didn't just survive those sessions, he dominated them. He punished men much bigger than him. If Tank could handle massive fighters in the gym, then a cruiserweight like Jake Paul won't be anything new. Jake might be bigger, but Tank has already faced tougher and stronger opponents before. Those sparring stories prove that Tank is no stranger to standing toe-to-toe with giants. The analyst went on to say that the heavyweights Tank trained with were far more technical and experienced than Jake. Jake Paul has come a long way, from influencer fame to legitimate boxing, but he's still learning, still refining his fundamentals. Meanwhile, Tank has been fighting high-level competition since his teenage years. If he could dominate fighters much heavier and more skilled than Jake, then Jake's size advantage may not save him. Showbiz made one thing crystal clear: this isn't a mismatch for Tank. If anything, it's Jake stepping into dangerous territory.
Guy in Mayweather's camp, he was a bigger guy. I think he was like a middleweight or something like that. He was whooping his ass. One time he was on live whooping a bigger guy's ass. He's just beating bigger guys like middleweights and stuff. He's done that in sparring forever. Remember this story? I've brought it up a million times and I've showed this clip a million times, but on Ellie's set back, this story of this guy saying how Gervonta Tank Davis knocked out this heavyweight.
Tell me the story. What happened?
Tank, what's the one boy name?
No, don't say a name. I don't want to embarrass anyone.
Oh, no, you're right.
But tell people what happened.
Man, I was about to spar. Before I was about to spar Tank, he was sparring this big boy.
A heavyweight.
Heavyweight boy. And Tank hit that nigga. He hit him so hard that he was on the top of the rope just like this. I'm like, I thought he died. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought he died.
Hey, I've seen him knock out some heavyweights. He might knock all the ass out now.
You knocked out a heavyweight?
Yeah.
How was that?
Because I hit harder than Wilder.
Now, granted, the heavyweight that Gervonta Tank Davis is whooping and sparring is not like, all-time great heavyweights, all right? And it shouldn't be. But he's sparring the heavyweight, the level of heavyweight that, more experienced than Jake Paul, right? But Jake Paul has beaten those heavyweights himself, all right? I'm thinking that is the caliber of heavyweight that Gervonta Tank Davis is sparring, but he's whooping their asses. And that's a good thing. I feel with Jake Paul sparring Raymond Ford, to me, it looked like Raymond Ford got the best of him. It looked like Jake Paul was a little exhausted, and it looked like Raymond Ford wasn't. It looked like Jake Paul was a little disappointed in his performance, and Raymond Ford was trying to give him a pick-me-up. Like, just kind of letting them know. No, like, we do this and do that. It just looked like Raymond Ford was in a confident, secure place, more dominant place, the more alpha out the two in the ring. And that's Raymond Ford. That ain't Gervonta Davis. I love Raymond Ford. I have him on my fighters list. But still, I don't think anyone...
Tank has made up his mind about his future. He's not going back to 135 pounds. The weight cuts were too harsh and left him drained. Now, he wants to stay fresh and compete where his strength is at its peak. Moving up to 140 pounds marks a major step in his evolution as a fighter. It shows growth in his mindset and readiness for bigger names and bigger challenges, including the Jake Paul showdown. After that fight, Tank plans to remain a full-time super lightweight. He believes he'll deliver even stronger performances in this division and aims to dominate it after proving himself once again on the big stage. By staying at this weight, he's opening the door to a wider range of opportunities. Some fans think the new division puts him at a disadvantage since Jake is naturally heavier. But Tank sees it differently. He feels this is where his body performs best, his stamina improves, and his knockout power becomes even more explosive. At 135, he already produced highlight reel knockouts. Now he's aiming for show-stopping destruction. This new division might make Tank even more dangerous than before, and Jake Paul could be the first to experience the power of this upgraded version of Tank.
Had announced that he would be fighting Jake Paul in, I believe it's coming up in just about a month, or a little bit less than a month, and that he would not be, at least immediately, he would not be rematching Lamont Roach. So people went all up in arms. Shout out to my guy, Big Dog Willie, who even right now is claiming that Gervonta Davis is going to go try to fight in WWE or something like that when he gets done with Jake Paul. But the truth of the matter is that Gervonta Davis is coming back to boxing. He's always said that he's coming back to boxing. He said he's going to run off, get this bag real quick, and he'll be right back. Well, as you see, the 135-pound WBA, the WBA, where he holds his 135-pound championship, has not stripped him. They said that they were going to look into it if he had not rematched Lamont Roach, but nothing ever really came of that. So as of right now, he still has his 135-pound title, but I'm telling you, the way that things are panning out, I don't think he's going to go back down to the 135-pound division. I think he's going to go to the 140-pound division where really and truly all the smoke is there. Add to it the fact that when he fights Jake Paul, he's going to be fighting Jake Paul at a higher weight than he would necessarily be fighting guys at 135 pounds. You're probably not going to see him drain down for the fight. I don't think he's going to bulk up at all. But usually when guys play with their weight and they go up and allow themselves to fight at a higher weight or fight people at a...
Carmel Motton shared his thoughts, saying Tank holds the clear advantage. He explained that Tank's experience sparring with heavyweights means size won't affect him at all. Jake's bigger frame doesn't change the fact that Tank is the smarter, more technical fighter. The real difference, Carmel says, lies in their skill levels. Tank is a master boxer, while Jake is still in the learning phase. He predicts Tank won't just win, he'll win decisively. Carmel, who knows Tank personally and has seen his daily work behind closed doors, believes his insight carries real weight. His conclusion is simple: talent beats size, and skill conquers strength. Those are Tank's lessons, proven through action.
They both getting a lot of money, so, congrats to them.
But if you had it, like, who has the edge in this fight?
I feel like Tank has the edge for sure. He's a real fighter, and got skills, high IQ fighter. Regardless of the weight, I've personally seen Tank, spar heavyweights, and even me, I spar heavyweights, So the weight's not really too much, for a lot of great fighters, so I feel like Tank will get it for sure.
Do you think he kind of be like an advantage because he's like small and like fast? Like someone said that, I'm like, I didn't think about that actually.
Yeah, possibly. He gonna see a lot of Jake Paul's punches coming. He can be able to evade them and then set him up for a big counter.
Wait, but do you think this is gonna be different than the other Jake Paul fights we've seen, like against Mike Tyson and Julio Cesar Chavez? I know a lot of people weren't the happiest with that, but I feel like Tank's gonna give him like a different fight. Do you think so?
I think so. We'll see how he adapts because a lot of people think it's hard, for a small guy to be fighting a bigger guy, but it's also hard for a big guy to be fighting a smaller guy. It's a small target, they're very fast, so we'll have to see how he adapts to it.
Wait, and is Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson really happening?
Yeah, that's happening.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Wait, is there a date already, or like what's going on?
I don't think there's a date yet, but it's definitely an official fight and it's happening.
So what do you got to say about that? Like, what's going on?
It's gonna be a great show. Floyd's gonna do his thing. Hopefully I'm on the undercard so I can put on a great show as well.
No, really? You guys already talked about that?
Not yet, no, but we'll have to see. Yeah, for sure.
And are you gonna fight again this year? Like, what's next with you, Carmel?
I don't know. At the moment, we haven't heard nothing. We're just waiting, staying patient, staying ready. But I should be back at least one more time before the end of the year.
When the fight was first announced, Shakur Stevenson was one of the loudest critics. He openly questioned why a top-level champion like Gervonta Davis would choose to face a YouTuber-turned-boxer instead of another elite professional. To Shakur, the matchup felt like an insult to the sport he's devoted his life to, but now, things have taken an unexpected turn. Reports suggest that Jake Paul offered Shakur a financial incentive to join his training camp and help him prepare specifically for Davis's style. This sudden involvement has left many fans raising their eyebrows. Analysts argue that if Shakur truly believed the fight disrespected boxing, he would have kept his distance. Instead, once the right offer came along, he chose to take part. The same fight he once mocked as a circus is now one he's indirectly supporting. Observers see this as a clear example of how quickly opinions in boxing can shift when money enters the picture.
Some easy money to come spar somebody or whatever, go get your money, right? But what's funny to me is for someone who had nothing positive to say about this fight, and someone who was critical of Tank Davis for taking this fight, and tried to shit on Tank Davis for taking this fight, he sure is doing whatever he can to be a part of it. He sure is doing whatever he can to be a part of the fight. And then to take that a step deeper and a step further, for someone who doesn't want to talk about Tank Davis anymore, he sure is making moves to ensure that he is continued to be mentioned with Gervonta Tank Davis. Shakur Stevenson is not stupid. The new firm that he hired to do his PR work and get him to do these interviews and try to enhance his brand, they not stupid. Jay Prince not stupid. Josh Dubin not stupid. The people around Shakur Stevenson have been building social media brands, building boxers, and building talent in different industries at the same time. I mean, for a long time. They know how this shit works. They not dumb. They know the conversation that is going to surround Shakur helping Jake Paul. Tank Davis' biggest rival going to camp to help Jake Paul. If Jake Paul has any kind of success in the fight, Jake Paul was successful because Shakur Stevenson is on a different level and he helped prepare Jake Paul for the fight with Tank. That's why Jake Paul did so good. They know this, bro. And to me, that's the problem that I always have with these guys like Shakur Stevenson. You can throw Lamont Roach in there. You can throw Devin Haney in there, bro. You can throw Keyshawn Davis in there if you want to. My issue is they won't admit what it is. And I guess it's an ego thing, it's a pride thing.
Offset offers a different perspective, focusing mainly on the physical matchup. He believes Jake Paul's size and natural strength could give him a genuine chance to win. The weight difference is clear, and Offset thinks that if Jake lands the right punch, it could completely change the fight. However, he also acknowledges Gervonta Davis's exceptional skill. Offset points out that Davis is the type of fighter who can slip punches, counter in an instant, and make his opponents miss all night. So while he leans slightly toward Jake because of the size advantage, he admits there's a strong possibility Jake won't even land a clean shot on Tank.to offset. This matchup is a fascinating battle between size and technique, a big, powerful challenger against a slick, highly skilled champion.
That's happening though.
I mean, that's kind of what Jake Paul does, right?
The nigga's 7'8", 6'7". I'm not saying 7'8". Like the nigga's
so what?
6'4".
So you think Jake wins?
Yes.
This is kind of like the Mayweather versus Logan Paul fight, and Mayweather, he got the better of Logan for sure. I think Logan's even bigger
than Jake. Fuck no.
Logan's bigger than Jake. Yeah, like bigger. Yeah, but Jake's now a more experienced boxer than probably Logan was at that time.
I don't know. That weight shit, man, that shit is a real thing.
What's the odds on that shit? I wonder. Not out yet?
Who do you think will win out of Canelo?
I don't really follow boxing like
Canelo,
that.
Man. I like my boy, but Canelo's just
Canelo's a beast.
He not old. He still got it. He hit hard as a motherfucker. And then like the fighters he fought and lost to was some dogs though. Like most people won't get in the ring with him, so it's like I feel like I don't know. Has he got the? I don't know. I feel like he gonna land though. What's that? What's the odds on that?
Oh, so there's Davis is minus 205 to beat Jake Paul. Jake Paul's plus 155.
Wow, that's tight odds. Tank Davis is minus 205. Jake Paul's 155 opening odds. Dude, that's crazy. I don't know.
Tank 5'2" though, but it's like he's so short.
Fast. Yeah,
I'm saying the height difference is
like,
crazy.
is Jake even gonna be able to hit him? Like he's probably so fast. Tank's gonna be able to hit Jake.
He's short though.
Tank's gonna hit him a lot, right?
How tall is Tank? 5'7". He's like 6'3". So different. That's
no, I know.
6'3" and big. Now technique, you got him in technique because he's for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I gotta see that fight. That shit sound crazy.
You gamble on football? You sports bet?
You have to pay him a lot of money to that fight.
Oh, they're making so much money.
Some analysts have pointed out that many fighters who criticize Gervonta Davis aren't doing it out of genuine concern for boxing, it's driven by envy. They argue that Davis has been a target of jealousy since the early days of his career, and now that he's set to earn an enormous payday in one night, that bitterness has only grown stronger. These analysts believe that if those same critics were offered the same opportunity, they'd jump at it without hesitation. Instead of congratulating Davis for securing such a massive deal, they choose to attack his decisions. According to the experts, most of the negativity surrounding Tank comes from those who simply wish they were in his position.
Get the chance to pick a great business mind brain and help give him some game in the process. I'm down. Oh, we know you're down. So for one, you look like you hating on Tank, bro. Like you specifically. Two, this is the same guy that said he's not watching the fight, but now you're somewhat taking part in the fight because you're trying to gather or help prepare Jake Paul for the fight. And then this is what Shakur Stevenson does, in my opinion. Shakur will make questionable choices, do certain things, right? And then afterwards, he'll be like, yeah, now that I got y'all attention, y'all, I got everybody mad at me. Bro, the stuff you're doing is weird. You know what I mean? And it's almost like, to me, it's almost close to like Karen behavior, in the sense that Karens, you see some of these Karens and they do all this extra stuff and then act like the victim. And I told you that's one of the main problems with Gen Z, right? Where Gen Z, they will do just weird things, make weird choices, make weird decisions, and then they'll act like, man, I'm Tupac, me against the world, everybody's against me. Everybody's not against you. You're just doing weird things. You're making weird decisions, it's weird behavior, so on and so forth. So let's ultimately recap. We got to do the Boxing Ego recap to see what's really going on here.
There's also growing debate about the rumored earnings for this fight. Figures between $20 and $40 million seem realistic to most analysts, but when some outlets claim both fighters could make nearly $200 million each, skepticism starts to rise. Many within the sport believe those numbers are exaggerated, too good to be true. While the fight is massive and the global attention is undeniable, the idea of earning that much in a single night still feels far-fetched to many experts. For now, the financial details remain a mystery, impressive, yet uncertain.
That'd be the most any athlete's ever made in one event, in one night. Where are they getting that money?
I mean, it's Netflix.
Okay. Mike Tyson didn't make that. Jake Paul didn't make that.
Yeah. 20 million, I would believe, not 200 million.
20 million seems realistic.
That's a lot.
Even because Netflix is bigger, but there's no pay-per-view model. So, and Gervonta is a big pay-per-view draw, especially for being a lighter weight class.
Yeah.
So 20 to even 40 I can get.
Oof, that's a lot.
40 I can understand.
When push comes to shove, though, you know, like 20.
Like Canelo's getting that 40. Yeah. But Gervonta Davis, he was, especially on Showtime, he was a big pay-per-view star.
Yeah.
He's a knockout artist. 200 mil is just completely false.
Man, I mean,
you swipe. What it says? Swipe to read more. What else does it say?
No, there's nothing there. That's probably from the original.
God, Jake is so much bigger.